Welcome, thanks for joining me. Quite a bit to cover today, so out of respect for your time, I'm going to jump right into it, starting with the disclaimer, which can be found right here. Pause if you want to read it. I've read it before. Maybe I'll throw it in the description for those that want to read it there, but I'm going to move on. Starting here with the SEC versus Reggie Middleton docket, we have here on March 20th, line item 112, withdraw as attorney, and again here on 114, March 21st, withdraw as attorney. I believe these are both related, so they're not separate attorneys, but we're going to cover that in 1 second here. So moving on to the Eastern District of New York attorneys, we have Mark P. Berger, who is the lead attorney in the SEC versus Reggie Middleton case, as well as Victor Edward Southamanant. Yeah, I had it right. He was terminated on December 19th, 2024. And again, he was the lead attorney that was joining Mark Berger and Jorge Tenrero in the case against Reggie Middleton. We also have John Emmett Murphy, which I believe is a new attorney to be noticed, and then Catherine Elizabeth Willinkin, who is also an attorney to be noticed, and Ben Curavilla, who is again another lead attorney to be noticed. Catherine Pappas was the lead attorney who was brought in to finalize the Very Fair Fund. She was brought in just a few months ago, actually, and she was terminated on March 21st, 2025. And John O'Donnell Enright, who was the lead attorney to be noticed. We have a notice here, a motion for an order granting leave to withdraw as counsel of record for the plaintiff, the Securities and Exchange Commission. And let me just make sure we're on the right page here. And then scrolling up, this kind of repeats itself, so I'm actually going to start here at the motion. The undersigned, who is leaving the SEC at the end of March 2025, respectfully requests that the court enter an order granting the undersigned leave to withdraw as counsel for the SEC in the captioned matter. The remaining counsel of record will continue to represent the SEC in this action. And if we go down further here, we can see that this is actually Catherine E. Pappas's motion to withdraw as counsel. So terminated simply means termination of the contract from the SEC. I don't think it's actually a firing. It's just, yeah, again, termination of their contract. And then we also have another one here. This one is Victor Southamanant. Plaintiff Securities and Exchange Commission respectfully moves the court for an order in the form attached hereto withdrawing Victor Southamanant as counsel of record in the action for the plaintiff. Mr. Southamanant is leaving the SEC's employ. The SEC continues to be represented by other counsels of record in this matter. And again, this was on December 19th, 2024. Signed Victor Southamanant. So these are the two lawyers that were withdrawn or terminated from the SEC's employ. Victor, again, was lead counsel, I believe, the whole time from the beginning of the SEC's case against Reggie Middleton, and Catherine Pappas was brought in a few months ago to finalize the Very Fair Fund. And then moving on, we actually have an interesting turn of events here. SEC Crypto Task Force to host 4 more roundtables. April 11th, 2025, between a block and a hard place, tailoring regulation for crypto trading. April 25th, 2025, know your custodian, key considerations for crypto custody. May 12th, 2025, tokenization, moving assets on chain where TradeFi and DeFi meet. And June 6th, 2025, DeFi and the American Spirit. I'll be curious if they invite Reggie to these, because obviously he would be a wealth of knowledge for them. Clearly, they're touching on his patents here. And here we have a speech from Commissioner Hester Peirce. This was posted on the SEC's website. Miles to go. Remarks before the Digital Chamber's 8th Annual DC Blockchain Summit. And here she says, and the task force welcomes well-reasoned requests for no action letters or exemptive relief that can be finalized quickly to allow activity to start soon. Lessons learned from these short and medium-term efforts can inform longer-term regulatory and legislative efforts. So as many of us know, the Veri DAO hired Jeremy Hogan to submit a no-action letter to the SEC seeking clarity on secondary sales of Veri tokens. The Veri DAO never received a written reply, so hopefully they will refile this no-action letter and we actually will get a reply. Also in this speech, she says here, finally, Congress can mitigate concerns about regulatory overlap and burden by safeguarding a basic American liberty, the right to transact with one's peers. Protecting people's ability freely to interact directly with one another, including through software, will provide a healthy check on regulatory accretion at centralized trading platforms and serve to acknowledge software developers' First Amendment rights. Centralized intermediaries are not going away. Welcoming the entrepreneurs who are building to disintermediate and decentralize finance is consistent with fundamental American values. It also helps to appropriately calibrate regulation of centralized intermediaries. If regulation of centralized intermediaries is too heavy, too light, or simply not right, people will be able to use decentralized and disintermediated alternatives. Mouthful. So, pretty interesting paragraph here. As we know, Reggie pretty much invented this, patented it, and the SEC targeted him for it. So this is a pretty interesting paragraph. Let's see how serious they are about this. As we know, Reggie has is filing a motion to vacate his case. So we'll see how this transpires. Something else that came out last week was a post here from Tom Emmer. Today, Rep. Darren Soto and I reintroduced the bipartisan Securities Clarity Act to codify once and for all that, like the orange grows in SEC versus W.J. Howie Co., a digital asset is separate and distinct from an investment contract through which it may be offered. American prosperity, ingenuity, and opportunity demand legal clarity. The Securities Clarity Act is one piece of that puzzle. And you can read more about that down here. And as we know, the SEC targeted Reggie Middleton, claiming that the Veri token was a security so that they could claim jurisdiction over the case against him. Now, when people bought the Veri token through the initial distribution offering, they signed a terms and conditions document that clearly stated that the tokens were prepaid fees, very similar to Microsoft Office or 365, Office 365, which is basically a license key that allows you access to the products and services of Veritaseum. So in other news, Custodia Vantage released first bank-issued stablecoin on Ethereum. Custodia Bank, in partnership with Vantage Bank, has issued the first ever tokenization of a bank's US dollar deposits on a permissionless blockchain. So this is a pretty interesting article. You can look it up and read it if you like. One of the points here that I'm going to cover, what I found interesting, and again, I'm just learning this, so take from it as you will. Here it says, a few weeks ago in his stablecoin speech, Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller correctly distinguished between real dollars that only banks can issue and synthetic dollars that non-banks can issue. He put stablecoins in the latter bucket. Long said, but as of yesterday, that distinction no longer holds because a depository institution, one that even the Fed classifies as a depository institution, has now issued a stablecoin. When issued by a bank, a stablecoin is just a dollar issued under different technology, a permissionless blockchain in this case, that has never existed before. So again, I'm just learning, but to me, this seems like they're saying banks can issue dollars. Now, from my understanding, only the government can print or issue dollars. And the Federal Reserve is not a government institution, it's a private one. So now they're saying that banks can issue dollars. Now, if we look at credit cards, banks have always had the ability to print dollars out of thin air and then charge people interest for creating those dollars. Again, I'm just learning. Take from it what you will, and I'm going to continue on. So also in this article, we have here the election of President Trump was welcomed by many in the industry. Trump declared at a Bitcoin conference in Nashville over the summer he would make United States the crypto capital of the planet. And just 2 months into his second term, the president has already made strides towards that, including hiring many cryptocurrency-oriented staffers. Now, as we know, Reggie has patented peer-to-peer value transfer, and of course is a U.S. citizen. If Trump really wants the U.S. to be the crypto capital of the planet, he's going to have to reach out to Reggie, hat in hand, and bring him on board. Just seems to make sense now that cryptocurrency as a whole has upgraded their technologies to include that of Reggie Middleton's IP. They're only going to have to reach out to Reggie to further implement their plans. So another interesting quote or post here from this article. Again, you can read this article. It's on American Banker. Custodia Vantage releases first bank-issued stablecoin on Ethereum.
Yesterday, you saw the CEO of Bank of America say, we're going to get into stablecoins as soon as we get approved to get into stablecoins. By the way, as you know, Custodia applied for the patent on a tokenized digital dollar in 2020, and we were granted it in 2022. Now, the Fed, post-FTX, way overreacted, clearly, and told everybody, stay out of it. It is presumed unsafe and unsound if a bank issues a stablecoin or touches a stablecoin. And so that's why the banks have been off to the side, and we haven't been able to use our patent. But it sounds like we will be able to use the patent, and it's going to be really fun because we're not in any of those three groups I just described: the incumbent banks, the incumbent stablecoin issuers, and then Tether.
So also last week I wrote an article on Substack as Sovereign Riz. Is the game rigged by big tech? How an independent entrepreneur invented the foundation tech underpinning DeFi. Now, of course, I'm preaching to the choir here. Many of you already know this, but I'm going to read this anyway, just so we all have an understanding of where we're at. Did you know that major corporations can exploit open source projects for insights into technology upgrades for commercial products, using open source as a low-cost R&D tool? Open source licenses exclude patents, enabling companies to use them defensively, protecting inventors from unauthorized commercial use. So again, a big misunderstanding in open source or in crypto is that everything is open source, and this somehow affects me and you as the normal everyday user, when really this is only protecting inventors from big companies coming in and taking their intellectual property and profiting off of them, in some cases billions of dollars. So of course Reggie's patent here, US 111965666, one of 7 patents, is foundational to DeFi and distributed finance. So further in this article, it says the US 111965666 patent family covers decentralized and distributed systems, facilitator client devices, and transfer mechanisms. Ring a bell? Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, stablecoins, tokenization, NFTs, and even Uniswap might be using this patented tech. And these are figures from the patent found on Google Patents. This is a first image, or figure 1, showing facilitator, clients, and transfer mechanism, and figure 20 here showing client, facilitator, and blockchain interacting with each other. Patent US 1196566 has been cited 141 times by major institutions such as NASDAQ, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, TD, RBC, MasterCard, IBM, Coinbase, Ripple, etc. These direct citations are themselves cited, creating levels of indirect patent citations like branches on a tree, expanding to many industries that trade value. And here is an example of how these levels break down. US, I don't know if you can see this as clearly as I can, but US 11196566, patented by Middleton here on level 1, direct citation, Wells Fargo, and Ripple. And these expand on to indirect citations that cite Wells Fargo's patent, Visa and RBC is an example here, and then on this from Ripple, Bank of America, and NASDAQ on this side. And then they have further sites which kind of expand on the patent tree. Now, I did, out of a test here or an example, I explored one of these patents. Actually, it was Wells Fargo's patent here, and it took it to 21 levels of patent citations, indirect patent citations, of US 11196566, which is Reggie's original patent. So his patent definitely expands quite far in this patent tree, which is pretty surprising to me and amazing at the same time. And of course, this patent beat Coinbase and Perkins Coie, the leading US patent firm, in court through IPR challenge, IPR 2023-00751. If you look up this number, you can find information on this patent. And as we know or may not know, over 86% of patents challenged this way are invalidated, but the USPTO upheld this patent and even denied Coinbase's appeal, further strengthening its novelty and validity. It's not just talk, it's legally solid. And here is an image of the Coinbase being the petitioner versus Veritaseum being the patent owner, and here the decision denying institution of inter-parties review. And then further we have, is the SEC captured by big tech allowing favored projects a free pass? The SEC called Reggie Middleton a fraud in 2019, alleging he misled investors by claiming he had valuable patents pending, but 7 patents have since been granted which suggest otherwise. Did the SEC commit fraud upon the court, akin to the Deadbox case? Justice incoming? And then here we have reference to the SEC smoking guns, misconduct meets overreach. This is an article I wrote on X, and then I of course made a video on this as well, and you can look that up on YouTube. Again, YouTube at Sovereign Riz, sorry. And then here it says, Reggie Middleton was the media's go-to financial analyst, credited for calling the collapse of Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers, and even won CNBC stock draft 2 consecutive years in a row. Since becoming a blockchain pioneer, he's now completely off the radar. Why don't independent inventors or innovators like him get the spotlight? Is the game rigged? It seems so. And then interested in the full story? Loans without banks, trades without exchanges, contracts without lawyers, enabling peer-to-peer capital markets by removing expensive middlemen, manipulation, and counterparty risk. Share Reggie Middleton's unbelievable story and push for independent inventor recognition. Let's talk. So this article is also on X and Substack, and this is kind of a living article that I'm constantly adding to as this story progresses. So if you want the full story, this is a great place to look, and hopefully we'll see it on the Veritaseum site at one point. And then moving on to the rounds here, support Reggie Middleton's battle against this lawfare by purchasing this unique silver round with embedded NFT from Quantum Metals, the only officially licensed dealer of Veri SmartMetal, which proceeds going directly to supporting Reggie's legal defense fund. And this can be found on the Veri DAO.io site, which has a splash page for the smart metals and links you to the quantum metals. If you're curious about any suspect links, you can start at the Veri DAO and it'll take you to the proper link to buy the smart metal. And then moving on from here, we've got a post here from Reggie, which kind of relates to this, and I didn't even know this. So Reggie says here, I put Veritaseum patent info into an LLM, large language model, prompt to see how accurate the output was. And although it got a lot wrong, it was still surprisingly astute. One model does stand out above the rest though. Again, look at how the big co's bully the small entrepreneurs, but not all entrepreneurs apparently. So here it shows an image showing 11196,566, which is Veritaseum's patent, IPR 2023-00751, denied institution and rehearing. So it seems here that Veritaseum's patent is the only one to fully defeat an IPR challenge in the blockchain domain, making it a rare demonstration of legal and technical durability. So I had no idea that Veritaseum was the only one to win an IPR challenge and defeat an appeal in the Patents, Trials, and Appeals Board of the USPTO. But it seems like it's the only one in the blockchain industry to do so. That's pretty amazing to me.
Large entities have a notorious ethic, and especially management of large entities have a notorious ethic for disrespecting patents held by smaller entities, no matter how meritorious they may appear. The large companies just don't. No manager wants to step up and say, "Well, let's pay them off. Let's just pay the fare." It's a kind of a macho culture. I think it's fair to say that makes them resistant even beyond the degree to which a rational person would be. So, but hopefully, having cleared this hurdle, will bring them back to the table. They have, if they can strike a deal with Veritaseum, it's in their interest to do so. It astounds me that they don't try to make a deal more often, a win-win arrangement where this patent, if they get a license for it, it serves as an obstacle to other players in the marketplace, but not to Coinbase. So why would they not? If you're open to doing that, if you're not looking to lock out the whole industry, which is your right as a patentee, but if you're willing to license it on fair and reasonable terms, I think it would be a grave error for them not to try to make that deal with you.
And on that note, I believe I'm a very reasonable person. Veritaseum is a very reasonable operation.
And then further in this post, says here, never dismiss the smaller competitor with bigger entrepreneurial drive. True skill lies in using one's disadvantage as an advantage. Veritaseum's patents have been cited 141 times to date, and nChain Global has cited them over 70 times, and nChain serves as prior art for many IBM patents. So here is an image which I'm hoping you'll be able to see as I open it up, and you can't. Perfect. Let me just read it over for you. Anyway, so we have nChain's holding 25 plus citation patent sightings of Veritaseum's 1196566 patent family. And then we have Wells Fargo with 15 plus patent sites, IBM with 7, and these are direct patent sites. And then we have Ripple with 6, Coinbase with 5, and MasterCard with 4, Alibaba Group with 4, Kochova with 3, and NEC Corporation with 2, and of course 140 others. Or a bunch of others, 100 plus of others. Great post here by Reggie. And again, this one here was very surprising to me, learning that Veritaseum was again the only company to successfully defeat an IPR challenge in the Patent Trials and Appeals Board. Very interesting. Now that people are starting to get their silver rounds, there's a lot of hype that is being generated through unboxing videos. Reggie has asked that if you want to be a part of a compilation that he's putting together of these unboxing videos, to please send it to him via DM, either on Telegram or on X. This one here is of Paul, or Agent Smith, on Telegram, and he was the runner-up in a pretty intense auction battle. He received the number 2 round, which is seen here, Very SmartMetal number 2.
I've just received my Veritaseum Very SmartMetal silver round, and I look forward to using it with all its features, functions and benefits. Very, very happy with its quality.
And because of his generous donation in helping Reggie fund his legal battles, he has pictured here being sent one of Reggie's business cards. Here he says, "My Veri business card arrived this past week in Australia. Here I am trying to emulate RM's classic pose with my very own business card. Thank you, Reggie." Look at that smile. Beauty. And then also in another unboxing video, we have Jay here in the Telegram group who said, "If I get 30 likes, I'll remove the sticker on camera." I don't know how serious he was, but we're at 34 likes. Curious to see how this is going to unfold. We have another unboxing video here from VTest Uprising, who is the infamous VTest channel on YouTube. Did a bunch of tutorial videos on the Vader platform back in the day, and has started a new channel on YouTube at VTest Uprising. You can find him there, and you can find him on X at VTest_2017. Give him a follow. He's going to do a lot of videos coming up on the Veri SmartMetal, just like this one here, going into great detail on the Veri SmartMetal and its functions, and yeah, definitely give him a follow if you want to learn more. This is his unboxing video. Nothing like silver to put a smile on a man's face. Look at that. So yeah, you can check out his unboxing video here on YouTube, again at VTest Uprising. Here we have another unboxing video from the infamous Litecoin Lisa, or Lisa Mighty Davis. And again, there's something about silver that puts a smile on people's faces. Looking forward to getting mine later today. Hopefully it comes in later today. Oh. It's coming in right now. Hello? Speaking. Boom, I did just get it. Pretty excited about that. I'll do my unboxing video right after this. But first, if you want to check out Litecoin Lisa's unboxing video, you can find it here at Lisa Mighty Davis on X. And I'm going to take us out with two more unboxing videos. This one was from Gloria, shared on Veritaseum's Telegram channel, Veritaseum Official. I play it here, but it's going to sound like garbage, so I'm going to add the video after this. And I'm also going to add this one here that was submitted anonymously to Reggie, that was shared again on X and on Telegram. Thank you for watching. Appreciate all the support. If you like these longer videos, let me know. If you prefer shorter ones, 10-15 minutes, let me know that too. Also, if you have any ideas for future content, throw it in the comments below. Excited to check it out. I have plenty on the list to do, so excited to get those done. And of course, I got this unboxing video to do. But yeah, I'm going to take us out with these submissions here, and I also want to give a special thanks to a few more people that help support my channel. Donnie, Boaz, Joan, and Paul. Thank you very much for your donations. I truly appreciate it. It really does help support my work, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
I just received my Veritaseum SmartMetal. I'm very excited to have it and to be able to support Reggie Middleton in a small way. It is absolutely gorgeous. And the fact that it has Reggie Middleton's signature on here and the added feature of the NFT makes it a very special coin and a very important collectible. Thank you again, Reggie, for all you've done for mankind.
Out of great darkness an idea was born, from a group of like-minded, battle-weary and worn, a way that could help us to weather the storm. A friend was in peril, a foe from within, a plan was concocted, and not just with a pen. Money was needed, support and high hopes, for a shiny round silver sliver of hope. Dollars were given with barely a thought to the wonderful technology about to be bought. Our friend and his allies, with much toil and care, came up with magnificence they were willing to share. 6,566 slivers of hope for a self-organising collective with more morals than the Pope. A reminder of all of the shit we've been through and a beacon of our resilience too. Much gratitude and love to our very smart friend. His fight is not over, but you can rest assured his loyal supporters will not buckle or bend. This battle for justice will endure to the end. We all have our medal to ground us to earth, to remind us of how we stayed true to our birth. We remembered how vitally important we are for following our path that was set in the stars. Here's to a future of peace, love and care. To our fellow humans, we welcome you here.